Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for being with the national television in Athens. Let me ask you, the German Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mrs. Annalena Baerbock, recently stated we were a bit late at the beginning of the war, but we shifted our course by 180 degrees when it comes to supporting Ukraine. Why do you think Germany was so indecisive in the beginning of the war, and does this have to do with the dependence on Russian gas?
Well, I don't think Germany was indecisive at the beginning of the war. If you remember, Nord Stream 2 was cancelled before the attack started. And we were warning publicly against, warning Russia publicly not to consider an invasion, while other countries were still working on improving their bilateral relations with Russia. So I think overall that's not accurate. I don't know the quote you are using, but my suspicion is it relates to armament supplies to Ukraine.
How credible do you sense that the use of nuclear weapons from Putin's side is right now?
Well, I don't want to speculate or psychoanalyze from a distance, but one thing I would say, it is if we the West or the democracies of the world cave into nuclear blackmail, then we give everybody the message that nuclear blackmail pays off and that you can get what you want by this means. So if we do that, that would not bode well for European security, but also beyond, globally.
Many European states expressed their discontent over Germany's decision to introduce a 200 billion energy package to help consumers and to help businesses, commenting that this move shows a lack of solidarity and sabotages a common approach to bring down the soaring gas prices. What's your take on this?
Well, as you probably know, we in the European Union are in the middle of a discussion about what to do about high energy prices. While we are speaking, the European ministers of energy are meeting in Prague. You're right in saying there is criticism, but I think that can be easily refuted. If one wants to be fair, one has to put this sum of 200 billion in relation to the size of Germany's economy, or if you like, in relation to the size of Germany's population. The other thing is that the German package runs over 3 years. And finally, a sizable part of this German package is foreseen to be used to support German gas wholesalers who have to buy expensive gas but are by contract obliged to sell it more cheaply to the customer. If these companies collapse, it will be in nobody's interest throughout the European Union. So already for these reasons, I think it becomes clear that the German package is not larger or more forceful than others. In fact, there was a study by a Brussels-based think tank which a few weeks ago said that per capita, the largest energy subsidies were in Greece.
Next week, we have a meeting of the European Council. 15 European states and recently Ursula von der Leyen have proposed setting a cap on the price of gas, but Germany seems to have reservations on this measure. Do you think that your country will be willing to explore common measures on this energy crisis?
Yes, we are willing to explore. That's why we agreed that the European Council tasks the European Commission to present options for such measures. Mm-hmm. But
is that a yes to the energy?
Wait a second. Mm-hmm. But it is also legitimate to have a discussion about whether the one or other proposed measure may have detrimental side effects or could be counterproductive. Mm-hmm. In this particular case, you have to consider, if we, the EU, present a diktat to supplying countries that are friendly to us, like the United States or Norway, they are not likely to take that very well. Maybe it's better to negotiate with them jointly instead of presenting them with a price we are going to pay and nothing beyond. And the other thing is, if we pay less on the world market for energy, the suppliers are very likely to take their gas where they get the world price. So that would mean increased scarcity of gas on our European market, And that could lead us to the point where we actually have to ration gas or energy in Europe. And we don't want to go there. So there are good, solid reasons to look very closely at what we can do together. And we should not rush to such conclusions as sabotage or lack of solidarity.
Are you optimistic about the result next week? There's a European Council.
It's a very, very complicated matter. And there are several very technical options on the table. So I can't really tell how fast we can be.